Hello, welcome to 30 Minutes. I'm Rick Anthony. I've often passed American Legion posts in the area and wondered what kinds of programs they had. The only contact I recall having with a Legionnaire is a donation to a member for a red poppy symbolizing remembrance and hope for a peaceful future. Recently, I learned that the American Legion is marking its 100th year. Chartered in 1919 by Congress as a patriotic veterans organization devoted to mutual helpfulness, it's the nation's largest wartime veteran service organization, committed to mentoring youth, sponsoring wholesome programs in the community, advocating patriotism and honor, promoting strong national security, and continued devotion to fellow service members and veterans. At 401 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne sits a well-groomed white building with flags furling and a sign that reads Bateman Gallagher, American Legion Post 668. The building is the local headquarters for a platoon of veterans and members of veterans' families who donate hours, countless hours of community service in a variety of causes. Bolstering the membership is the American Legion Auxiliary, which significantly increases the capacity of the Wayne Post to contribute to the Radnor community. There's a lot to this story of selfless service. Here to help tell the story are Bill Madden, past commander of the Post 668, and Christine Carlson, a member of the board of the American Legion Auxiliary, Post 668. Welcome, Bill. Nice to be here.
Thank you.
And Christine.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for being here. As I said, I passed that building, I don't know how many times, and I have, I guess, noted it's a nice-looking building, it's well kept, with the flags and everything, but I never really understood what went on there and why and the role it played in the life of the community. First of all, let's talk about the Post, 668. What is 668? That obviously is the number, but what does it mean? And how long has the Post been there? And since, Bill, you're a past commander, I guess you have the historical perspective on all of this, not that you've been around so that long.
Some people might question that. Yes, I am a proud member of Post 668. It was founded in 1933, given its charter in 34, which makes it 85 years old, 86. It was founded, and it's called Bateman and Gallagher.
Who were they?
William Bateman is a lieutenant, and he was killed in July of 1919 during the Battle of the Marne, the second battle. And Gallagher, Lieutenant Gallagher, was temporary captain at the time, was killed in October, just 3 weeks before the end of the war in 1918. At the Battle of Marcion in France. Both were from Radnor High School, and in terms to memorialize them, at the time, it was decided that the post would be named after them in remembrance of them, and we're proud to bear their names.
668, what is that?
668 is just a number based on the timing of when you became a post in the state of Pennsylvania. You may find a 668 in Idaho, you know, so they can number them as they wish,
yes,
because each state or department, as it's called within the Legion, has the right to name post numbers.
So the Post is an extension of the state organization. The state, obviously, an extension of the national organization.
That's correct.
Is the Post an autonomous unit? Do you make your own rules? Can you do things on your own without permission from headquarters?
Good question. Each post must operate under a set of bylaws. Those bylaws are basically written by the state. They may differ within states based on the state, but once they're written, we, the Post, must adhere to the construct of that message. For instance, it's important to know that the Post is managed by an executive committee. They are the responsible management to run, make decisions, and chart courses for the various member groups as a whole. And while I'm at that, there are basically 4 groups within the Legion, 3 of which are what I look at is a triangle, is the veterans, the auxiliary, and the sons.
All right.
And then in the middle of that is the Radnor Veterans Association, which is our social arm.
You just answered 4 of my questions. But we'll have to come back.
I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah.
It gets a little confusing with those. But let's go to the auxiliary. Christine, you're a member of the board of the auxiliary.
I'm the president of
You
the
are the
auxiliary.
president. And why does it exist? How long has it been around? And how does it complement the league, the Legion?
Yeah, the auxiliary was chartered in 1935 as a way to support the members of the American Legion at this post by Mrs. Bateman and Mrs. Gallagher. And our role is really to support our post. We do anything and everything that we can, but we also have a lot of community outreach. We try to support as many community events as possible, things like Helping Hands or Christmas organizations, the USO Christmas Fund. Any fundraising that we do generally goes to one of those organizations.
How many members are there in the auxiliary?
We have roughly 60 members. We also have 5 junior members. We do have a junior organization, which just this summer was given an award for participation,
Terrific.
best in the state.
That's great.
Yeah.
Do the members of the auxiliary do not necessarily have to have served. They're not veterans, but they have family members who have served. Is that it? You have a family member who has served.
Correct. My husband is currently a recruiter in the Army. But you could have served. For example, we have a couple of members who are female who have husbands who are also serving, but they are veterans. You could have a grandfather, grandmother,
Yes.
and any lineage,
Right.
direct lineage that you can show.
2 levels of consanguinity is required, though.
To what?
2 levels of consanguinity.
The auxiliary is currently made up of all women, females, but that
Currently,
will
yes.
not be the case going forward.
So at our recent national, state, and national conventions, they decided that men could join the auxiliary. That had been something that they'd been discussing for a while. But they just recently made that decision, so it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Who heads up the Sons of the Legion?
Who heads it up? A gentleman by the name of Tony Waterer IV. We call him IV.
Is there? What's the age bracket? What's the threshold? How old do you have to be to join?
There is a junior membership. In fact, my grandson is a member of the juniors. And other than that, there's no age requirement. It's just performance.
It's a way to bring younger, I guess, just younger
Yeah, and those who
family
are
members into the.
those who are related to military and similar to the auxiliary,
Yeah.
in order to qualify, 2 levels of consanguinity, a membership of a parent, uncle,
Right.
that kind of thing.
And how many sons are there?
There are presently about 84.
Well, these are substantial groups, 60, 80, and what's the membership?
I was waiting if you were
yeah.
going to get to that. 200.
Really?
And by the way, we have made 5 consecutive 100% performances in membership, and are rewarded for that in terms of one of the few posts that have made their membership quotas multiple years.
What does that mean, performances? I think you said
Well,
performance.
yeah, we are given a quota.
Oh,
Yeah, and
to
it's
maintain,
and somewhat, yeah.
to maintain the membership at a certain number? Is that
Yes.
what you mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's generally closely to the prior year. But there are such things as deaths.
Yes, regrettably.
Yeah, and so you lose a percentage of your membership,
Yeah.
and therefore you have to recruit new members, which is a major assignment of ours.
I neglected to do something. Thank you for your service.
I was privileged to serve. I really was.
In the Korean War.
In the Korean War as part of the Marine Corps. Right.
How long were you in?
3 years, yeah. And it was a rewarding experience for me as I grew up as an orphan. So for me to go into the military and get male
Yes.
direction and management did me a lot of good.
Christine, what's it like to have an important role, you and your members, an important role in a male-dominated organization? And I don't mean that as a flip question. But
No, we love it.
But in today's environment, what is it like? And is there any conflict, any friction? You don't have to fight it out right here, but
Never.
I'm serious about how two organizations that have been around for a very long time are involved in really important work in the community. There is a need for some harmony, for really close collaboration, not pulling in different directions, sharing resources and so on. So how do you do that in today's society?
Very carefully.
Very
The good news is that both of our groups enjoy working together. We love what we do and what we get to do with our organization. We love being able to support the community and each other. A lot of what we do means that we have to support one another.
Let me add to that we, the Veterans Organization, could not exist without the aid of the auxiliary and the Sons. They do a magnificent job on our behalf and with us. It's a very close family attitude, and it works. You have your differences of opinion on things, but basically, I've never experienced a bad year with them.
But I think the operative word you just mentioned is military, because I'm sure I did not experience it myself, but there's a bond there, I think, that transcends gender or age differences or whatever. You're all part of the family.
I think it's an understanding too.
Yeah.
You know, as my first husband deployed to Iraq in 2007. Not that I understand anything that a Legionnaire has gone through, and not that they understand what we've gone through being home, but I think there's a mutual understanding and respect there that allows us an opportunity to do things in the community for the better.
Yeah, I think that she made a very important point. The family is an important ingredient in the Legion, because it's not only the veteran, it's what they leave behind that becomes important, and that we try to remember.
You mentioned some activities, and I know that the Legion supports other activities, and I had a list here someplace that you might comment. First of all, baseball, the American Legion baseball.
Yeah, well, you know, they're an independent operation with their own offices and so on. What we do are two things. One is to attend their games, and the other important thing is to provide financial support to them. Each year we give them a financial aid to whatever, because to help them buy equipment and so on. We used to give it to the sports store in Wayne, but they had asked us to change that to a direct contribution, which we have done.
To one baseball team, or?
Well, to the group here in Wayne. Okay. I mean, the Wayne Wolverines.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. The other one is the Operation Comfort Warriors program. Is that a national program?
That's a national program. Yeah, and part of that is annually there's the PA Hero Walk, which they walk from the museum, Philadelphia Museum of Art, to the end of the state, and this is their first stop, and we host them and support them as part of that early endeavor, and then they go on from there. But it's part of the contribution to the Comfort of Warriors, as well as we participate with the Philadelphia House, in terms of which is a house for veterans that don't have housing, and so we help support them financially, as well as we just gave them a very expensive ice maker because they didn't have any, and they had a requirement. So we donated that to them, like $1,000 worth of, you know. So we do things like that. We go up to Spring City, Spring City, and to the resident VA home up there. We have casino nights with them, things like that. And
Do you provide assistance either? Well, sorry, before I go there, you mentioned the Radnor Veterans Organization
association.
Association, and what is the connection there? Is that a separate group?
Yes, yeah, it's a separate corporation.
Why?
Why? Well, to keep it simple,
Please.
liability.
Okay, got it.
Okay, not that it is in of itself. Okay, in fact, I established that during my administration when we see the property was with the home was with that organization per se, which then called the Home Association.
Right.
And the Legion did not want properties outside of the actual Legion, so I created a merger between the Home Association, who owned the property, and ourselves, and therefore the property now resides with us. And I set up the RVA as a separate corporation to run the social aspect of the club, and they do a marvelous job.
You distribute a lot of money. You need a lot of money to provide the kinds of services you talked about. Where does it come from? Are there dues for members? Obviously, you rely on donations and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah. We get a small percentage of the dues. Our dues are $30, of which
Most goes to national.
25% goes to the department, the state. I don't. They give a certain portion to the national. Yeah.
So the rest of your income.
Actually, we're fortunate in have been for a couple of years now to rent space to the Range Rover dealer.
Oh. You mean parking space?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because during the day we're not open
Sure.
till 4 o'clock.
Sure.
So we have maybe an hour overlap. But basically, they give us, and that's a substantial
helps,
help.
sure.
You know, and then we have what is fondly called the begging society. That go out in front of stores
Yes.
in the area and request support. And I must say my experience has been good. The community steps forward and helps.
That's great.
And that makes a big difference
Sure.
in terms of the things we can do. Because, as you know, to aid other organizations like the Philadelphia, the House and
Sure.
the casino nights,
And the
and the
food
PA,
programs you mentioned.
all of that requires
Yeah.
funds.
What's the difference between the American Legion and the VFA, the Veterans Affairs?
VFW.
VFW.
You want me to answer that?
Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah. The simple difference is you have had to have served on foreign soil to be a member of the VFW.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, that's really the only significant difference. Yeah. Their organization is a fine organization. They're not as large as ours per se, but do fine work as well.
Do you compete with one another for funds?
No,
Or did you do
not really. We're very symbiotic in terms of things we do, and so no, there's no. It's and many of our members belong to both. Yeah, those that are eligible.
The benefits essentially the same?
Depends on how you use benefits. The word benefits. I'm not sure.
Describe benefits in your context. You don't offer insurance benefits or anything like that, do you? As a
No,
membership?
the state and national do have various programs that you can join or become a member of. Like they have one that I joined just recently. It's called EA, and it provides a medical assistance if you're out of the country and you get injured.
Yes.
And it's a reasonable amount, and I'm going to Italy, matter of fact, on Thursday. So
Great.
I made sure I was
I
still
envy
covered.
you.
Yeah, no, I made sure I was covered.
Let's go back to the auxiliary for a moment. You have about 60 members. Do you also get a reward if you maintain a certain quota?
We are, expected to meet a particular
Yes.
number.
How do you recruit?
We are mostly word of mouth. when we are out at events, our Memorial Day parade,
Yes.
we try to talk up our auxiliary, and I think a lot of people just don't understand what the auxiliary does
Yes.
or who can join. The same, I think, with the Sons of the American
Yes.
Legion. They're just
Absolutely.
not sure. So we try to talk it up as much as possible. We do have some events that are open to the community. For example, our All Saints Day party this year is on November 2nd, and they are open to the community.
Tell me about it. Where? When?
Sure. So it's our annual Halloween party. It'll be at the Legion. It starts at 6 o'clock. There is dinner, and we have a live band, and it is a $15 cover charge. And you can just come and hang out at the post, get to know everybody. It is a costume party, and there is a costume contest.
For the kids.
No kids allowed.
Oh.
It's an adults-only party.
Oh.
But yeah, so you come in costume,
you'll have adult libations there.
and we generally do
Always.
that. Yes. Yeah. That for us is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. Talking about fundraising, that's how we are able to give as much money as we do. Between that and a variety of other fundraisers.
How much of what you do is ceremonial? Holidays, like the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and so on. When you turn out in uniform, full regalia.
Yeah, we do that often.
And graveside services? Do you
And we
that?
do, yes, I've participated in many graveside services, and it's heartwarming
Yes.
in the sense that we have the right to honor those who are
Yes.
deceased by firing a 21-gun salute for them. Depending on whether there's military there, we'll fold the flag and present it to a member of the family.
Yes.
And it's really heartwarming. We also, for instance, on Memorial Day, not only are we in the parade and we do the service and participate, but the day before, we visit 13 memorials and cemeteries. We replace all the flags in the cemeteries with new ones or grave markers of service. That's a considerable effort, and as many have participated in that and find it
Bill,
beneficial.
until I did some research to prepare for this, I did not realize, as often as I've been to graveside services, regrettably, that the symbolism of folding the flag, that every fold has some symbolism, has
Yes,
meaning.
yes,
I
yes.
didn't know that, and I
Yeah.
don't think most people do, other
Yeah.
than the military.
No, and it's quite an elaborate.
Do you remember the 13 folds?
No, I do not.
I have.
Have I done the 13 folds? Yes.
Yeah.
And we generally read from a script.
Yeah.
It is a moving set of words, and unfortunately, I don't
What I
know them
guess
offhand.
what kind of surprised me in today's environment was that it is so. There's so much of it is so spiritual, religious, references to God and so on.
Yeah, yeah. Our motto is God and country.
And
You
that
know.
hasn't been challenged.
Oh, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
been challenged, but we still do it. You know, at every one of our meetings. Which, by the way, the meetings we hold a monthly meeting on the first Tuesday of every month. In fact, tomorrow night, being the first Tuesday of October, we will be holding our meeting, the executive meeting, then followed
Right.
by the membership
You know,
meeting.
the meeting is largely social.
Oh no, it's an hour
business
business. It's a very business, very organized, very scripted, and repertorial in the sense of informing the membership of what the executive committee has decided to do or not do. Like we just finished doing our kitchen and with, by the way, the financial help with the auxiliary and the Sons.
You rent out the building, don't you, for events?
We haven't. We have in the past, but seldom. We are making a major effort, which is why we've redone the inside,
Yes.
including the second floor, expending quite a bit of money and resources, so that we can do more. And a kitchen, which is now modern and passed by the Radnor Health requirements just a month ago. So we're ready to.
What types of events would be appropriate for the space?
We had a baby shower there very recently. Birthday parties are good.
Yes, membership remembrances that somebody wants to
Yes.
remember their, their member who's deceased.
We held our wedding there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
2 years ago.
Yes, I
We
was
had-
there.
That's great.
Yes, right.
How many people could you accommodate for a sit
Well,
down?
we did it outside.
Oh,
So, and I think there were about 150 people there.
Oh, yes, easily, yeah. Yeah, it was quite well.
And I did that because actually the Legion is my family.
Sure.
And most of the Legionnaires in the auxiliary were in attendance. And it's a great place to hold an event like that.
But to answer your question on the specific aspect, upstairs, which is our finished area, it would accommodate about 50 people. And in fact, yesterday they had a big dinner for, I think it was 30 people. You know, we can set up a table and all of that.
people bring in their own caterer, I assume.
They can. They
We
can
also
do
have
that.
somebody in-house who's
Yeah,
amazing.
but we also
yes.
in-house, yeah. We host a Thursday night dinner every Thursday night.
Is that right?
All you can eat for $10.
It's open to the public?
Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't know that.
all you can eat, yeah. Yeah, somebody will
Every
sign you
Thursday
in.
night?
Yeah. Mostly every 30.
Yeah.
Only because we were having the kitchen done, we didn't do it for
Yeah.
a few months.
Okay,
in the
we're
summer.
heading into the holiday season, which is when I assume you would and your members would be very, very busy dealing with people who have a need for food and for clothing and so on, maybe even and gifts for children. Will this be your busiest season, time of the year?
Generally, this is what we do most of our fundraisers for.
Yeah.
We work with the Radnor School District to identify families who are struggling and perhaps can't afford many gifts for their kids, so we work with them. But we also work with veterans organizations to identify military families who might need some help for Christmas. But we also have done things in the past like clothing drives.
Yeah, we did a big one this
coat
past
drive.
holidays, and you folks contributed a lot. We just collect clothes and so on, and then we fix them up if they need to be, and then we take them down to the shelters in
Great work.
Philadelphia.
It's great work.
And
Do you provide assistance for vets who are making a transition from military to civilian life, particularly employment?
we're not, we have a service officer. It's one of the positions of the post. It's called a service officer. And he is our main interface between ourselves and like the VA in the various areas that are responsible for employment. And we try, and we do what we can in that
But there
area.
are organizations in the region, as I'm sure you know,
Yeah.
that have sprung up, and they provide assistance, those who want to start their own businesses, want to buy a business, just looking for a job, don't know how to prepare a resume, don't know how to interview.
Yeah.
Do you provide that kind of assistance?
We
or
do
you
that,
direct
yes.
them
We
to people?
particularly in resume, you know, in our membership days,
Right.
one of the things we try to do, and we advertise on the Legion website, is support by our service officers to carry out, you know,
I've got
employment aid.
I've got 30 seconds. How do people help you?
Let me say before you do that, I want to make sure that you understand we are very active with the youth in this area. For instance, we hosted a couple of Eagle Scouts projects
Yes?
just this past summer, and we encourage that activity. We have Keystone Boy State, which is a very active youth program, and they have Girl State.
Let's just
Things of that
mention the
nature.
website so people can learn more, and if they wish, send you money, send checks. Website?
Post
Join the
668.
Legion.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yes, join the Legion. Come to our meetings.
Great.
Yes.
Post-
Post668.org.
Okay.
Yes, and on there you can click to go to Facebook and see our Facebook activities as well.
Thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you again, sir, for your service
Thank
and
you.
your
Thank you.
continued support.
I would like to present this 85th memorial coin to you on
Oh, nice.
behalf of the Legion for your support in
Thank you very much.
getting our word out.
Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. My guests today are Bill Madden and Christine Carlson, who are both with the American Legion Post 668. Check them out. Until next time, take very good care of yourselves.